If the vice president's decision to go, if you think that was somehow affected by that.
Why is J.D. Vance in Greenland? Greenlanders don't want J.D. Vance in Greenland, and Americans don't want him there. I mean, he should go to Greensboro or Green Bay and go to a supermarket and see what is really, crunching and hurting everyday Americans right now. This is just so insulting to the rest of the world, and we're losing alliances the way we treat other countries like some risk game board. And I've met in the last couple of weeks with Canadians, with members of the European Parliament, and they're telling me it may take generations, and in our lifetime, we may not see the damage undone that this kind of nonsense is doing to us in the world.
I do want to talk about Signal and the group chat and the continued fallout from that. As you look to the future, and you serve on all kinds of committees that deal with the military and in the past and intelligence, what do you think the impact will be from this going forward?
Well, I want to know, are they going to continue to use this type of chat environment for future operations? No one has answered that, and every member of Congress, at least on our side, should ask every intelligence official and every military official when they appear under oath before Congress, are you using Signal chat? And by the way, DOJ, these guys are obsessed with deleting jobs. Maybe there's one job they should create: someone to monitor who's in the group chat.
It's interesting. The Attorney General of the United States, Pam Bondi, was on TV last night, and she actually said that she thinks Signal is secure and that maybe there will be chats. She didn't specify chats dealing with military attacks, but there would be government-related chats that take place on it going forward.
That's fine. There's a lot of different apps that you can use to make us efficient. This was a military strike with no security awareness as to who was in the chat. And by the way, John, the American people are not going to be gaslit about this. They know that anyone else in the military, anyone else in the intelligence community, if they had done this, they'd be gone. They'd lose access to any classified information. They'd never be able to work in the government again. And that's why Pete Hegseth and Mike Waltz should no longer be in the government. And it's just a complete lack of accountability that Donald Trump is showing by keeping them.
Roger Wicker, the Senate chair of the Armed Services Committee, Jack Reed, the minority ranking member there, have written a letter asking for an inspector general report at the Pentagon into this. Is that enough?
It'll go absolutely nowhere, and Republicans will do nothing. They're just going to shrink, hide under the bed, just like they always do. And by the way, inspectors general were completely fired by Donald Trump. So these are his people who will investigate him. So it's going to really be on Democrats in Congress to hold them accountable as much as possible. People like Democracy Forward and Mark Elias in the courts who are pressing, to get as much information about this. Hold on tight, keep democracy alive until the midterms, win in the midterms, and cut our hell in half. That's the plan for the next year and a half.
You talked about the midterms. Your colleague, Elise Stefanik, member from New York who had been in House leadership and had been nominated to be the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations, the president's pulling her nomination because they're afraid of the margins there. How do you feel about her continued presence in Congress? What does that tell you?
Yeah, it tells me that there's momentum. And to Americans who are asking me at the town halls I've been doing in Republican districts across the country, I'm telling them your activism is working. We're almost victims of our own success in that, because they put Stefanik back in Congress because they knew that we were very likely going to win that seat where Donald Trump won by 20 points in her district back in November. Momentum is building. People, Republicans, Democrats, Independents, they don't want to lose their health care. They don't want to, call Social Security and have nobody answer the phone. And so we are starting to build momentum, and that feels pretty good.
I got to let you go, but do you think your leaders have figured out a way how to harness that energy or momentum?
Yeah, they're sending us to Republican districts where Republicans won't hold town halls. And in Wisconsin, by the way, on April 1, that's going to be a big test. Elon Musk is spending $20 million there to try and win a state Supreme Court seat. That could determine whether there are 2 additional House seats for Democrats that were taken under gerrymandering. That's going to tell us a lot about where activism is right now in the heartland of America.
Congressman Eric Swalwell, appreciate